Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating story. It's more than just a narrative, really.
Mm-hmm. Feels like a kind of blueprint, doesn't it, for overcoming fear, finding your voice.
Exactly. And building connections, in ways you might not expect.
We've been looking at this incredibly detailed source material. It tracks the journey of one woman, Anya.
Right. From being this quite shy librarian in a quiet Indian village.
To becoming this sort of global force for language learning.
Yeah.
And community building. It's really quite something.
It really is. So our mission today basically is to unpack that, pull out the key lessons, the surprising moments.
And those universal truths, about learning languages, sure, but also about courage, persistence.
And the impact one person can have when they just decide, okay, I'm going to speak up.
So let's set the scene first. Picture Anya at the very beginning, mid-20s maybe, working in the school library.
In this, vibrant but pretty quiet village. And she loves English, books, movies. Yeah. She understands a lot.
Oh, yeah, totally gets it. But here's the thing. The real core of the early story.
Speaking it.
Exactly, speaking English. Completely paralyzed by fear. The source material paints such a vivid picture.
It does. Her heart racing, tongue freezing up.
Mind going blank. Just the thought of having to say something in English.
You can almost feel that, can't you? That physical reaction.
Mm-hmm. And she tried, practicing alone in front of the mirror, whispering phrases.
But constantly stopping herself, second-guessing every little thing. That fear of making mistakes.
Yeah, the fear of imperfection. It was just overwhelming for her back then.
It sounds so isolating, surrounded by this world and books, wanting to connect.
But trapped by her own, internal barriers. You sense this deep curiosity, this yearning.
But she felt stuck, utterly stuck.
But, what the story shows is that underneath all that fear, there was this real determination brewing.
Right. And that longing for the world, that became the fuel, didn't it?
Absolutely. And it really highlights how sometimes just one single moment, one powerful experience can change everything.
Yeah, the catalyst. And I think anyone listening, if you're facing a challenge, any challenge, you can probably see a bit of yourself in that initial struggle.
Definitely. Okay, so let's talk about that moment, the catalyst moment.
The International Festival.
Right. The village hosted this small festival, brought in some visitors, and one day a group of Canadian tourists wanders into the library.
And this young woman, Emily, smiles, asks Anya, hi, do you speak English?
And Anya wanted so badly to say something, even just, yes, a little.
But she couldn't. Just nodded, pointed at some books, maybe the words just wouldn't come.
And Emily was apparently very kind about it, but inside, Anya felt this intense frustration, like simmering.
And that night, it boiled over. Alone at home in front of that same mirror.
She made a decision, a real declaration. It's a powerful scene in the source.
Looking herself right in the eye. And saying, enough is enough.
I want to speak English. Not just read it, not just understand it. I want to speak it fluently, confidently.
That wasn't just a wish anymore, was it? It was a promise to herself.
And what's really striking, I think, is how quickly she turned that decision into action. like immediately.
That's a key takeaway right there, isn't it? Decide, then act, even small steps.
Totally. She committed to daily practice, no matter the fear. Started simple, things you might even dismiss.
Like talking to herself while brushing her teeth.
Exactly. Today is a beautiful day. I will do my best. Little things.
Then the English diary, writing about her day, her dreams, even her fears.
Yeah, and she admits it wasn't perfect, full of mistakes, but it was progress, right? A daily commitment, engaging actively.
And she was smart, used resources, learning apps.
Short English videos. Watch them with subtitles first, then without, pausing, repeating, trying to mimic the sounds.
And that technique, shadowing, where you try to repeat what you hear in real time.
Sounds simple, but it's incredibly hard. Matching the speed, the rhythm, the expression.
Yeah, I've tried it. It's tough. And the source says she found it really difficult.
But she kept going. That's the point, isn't it? Not that it was easy, but that she didn't stop pushing through, building that foundation.
So she's got the internal practice, the writing, the listening, the mimicking.
But the big one remained. Actually speaking, with other people, facing that fear directly.
This is where it gets really quite moving, actually. She found a free online speaking club.
Yeah, learners from all over. Imagine how much courage that took just to join.
At first, she just listened, right? Too scared to unmute the mic.
For days, apparently.
Yeah.
Then one day she just did it, took the leap.
And all the physical symptoms came rushing back.
Oh, yeah. Pounding heart, face flushing, sweaty palms, her voice trembling as she managed to get out, "Hi, my name is Anya."
Wow. And the reaction, this is crucial.
It was amazing. Nobody laughed, no criticism, just kindness, encouragement.
Nice to meet you, Anya. You speak well.
Keep going, that kind of thing. It was transformative.
That welcome. It didn't erase the fear, maybe, but it showed her it was worth it.
Exactly. Gave her that taste of joy, speaking and being understood. It lit a fire,
And you see that confidence start to grow pretty quickly after that.
Definitely. The next village festival, she didn't hide, she volunteered, helped guide the English-speaking tourists.
Practiced her lines, "Welcome to our village," out loud. Getting comfortable.
Voice still a bit nervous, maybe, but the source mentions her wide smile, radiating this newfound confidence.
And then she runs into Emily again, the tourist from the year before.
Yes. And this time, Anya doesn't just nod. She walks right up, smiles, offers a full library tour in English.
Imagine Emily's surprise. "Wow, Anya, your English is amazing now."
And Anya's reply is just so perfect, so simple. "Thank you, I've been practicing."
It wasn't flawless English, the source is clear about that. She still stumbled, still doubted sometimes.
But the belief was there now, and she was actually enjoying it. English wasn't just fear anymore. It was becoming her new voice.
It really shows how that consistent, brave practice, even imperfect practice, leads to real, visible progress.
Absolutely. And that success just fueled her even more. Hope and energy started pushing her, not just past fear, but towards real fluency.
So she doubled down on the practice, morning affirmations.
"I can do this. I'm not afraid." Weaving English into everyday things, podcasts while cooking.
Talking to herself while walking to the market, narrating her actions.
"Yeah, I need some apples," that kind of thing. The villagers noticed, of course, some surprise, maybe some laughter,
Thinking she was showing off.
maybe.
Hey.
But Anya knew. It wasn't about being perfect or impressing anyone. It was, as the source says, about practicing without failure every single day. It was for her.
And these daily habits led to bigger steps, like in the online club.
Right. She felt brave enough to describe her dream job, being a travel guide.
Love culture. Help them understand, even with mistakes and pauses.
She got through it, and people clapped. Great job, improving fast. That affirmation is so important.
Her diary entry that night. Today I spoke without fear. My dream job feels real now. Making that connection.
And it wasn't just online. That moment in the market.
Oh, yeah, the lost tourists.
Two foreign travelers, totally confused, asking for directions. Her heart starts racing again, that old reflex.
But she steps in. Hello, can I help you?
And they're walking with them for like 15 minutes, showing them the way, having a simple chat. Where are you from? Do you like India?
Not perfect conversation, grammar mistakes, forgetting words.
But she kept going. And they were just grateful. Told her, you speak good English.
And to her reply again, I'm learning every day. That simple truth.
That moment felt like magic to her. It showed her English was working, connecting her to people in the real world, even imperfect English.
And this growing confidence, this visibility in the village.
Yeah.
People noticed, like the school principal.
He calls her, invites her to help lead the after-school English club.
And her first reaction is doubt again, right? Me, but I'm still learning.
That self-doubt is persistent, isn't it? Even after progress.
But the principal says something really wise.
He does. That's exactly why you're the right person. You understand the struggle. You know how to learn step by step.
The value of empathy born from experience, not just skill.
So she starts teaching. Simple phrases, songs, laughter, making it fun.
And crucially, sharing her own story, her own nerves, her mistakes. I still make mistakes, but I try every day.
That makes her so relatable. Gives the kids permission to be imperfect, too.
And it inspires them, like Priya, her student. Didi, I want to speak English like you.
And Anya's response, passing on the lesson. You will. Just start today.
That evening, reflecting, she has this moment of clarity.
Yeah, by the window, sun setting. Realizing how far she'd come, whispering that mantra. Practice makes confidence, not perfection, confidence.
She still wasn't textbook fluent, maybe, still searching for words sometimes.
But the fear was gone. She'd found her voice, and it was getting stronger.
And just as she finds this voice, a much bigger stage appears. The village council asks her to host the annual cultural day in English.
Whoa. Talk about treasure. Her reaction, freezing up again. You want me?
But the council leader sees it. You speak well. You've inspired many already.
Still, the thought of that big crowd, forgetting words, making mistakes publicly, terrifying.
But she has tools now. She reminds herself what she told the kids.
Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to keep going despite it. That universal truth.
She writes it in her diary. I'm scared, but I will try. I won't wait to be perfect. I'll speak with heart.
And that commitment fuels serious preparation. Practicing lines, good evening, over and over.
Recording her voice, correcting herself. Mirror practice for gestures, eye contact, breathing.
Her little brother notices, right? Hey, you sound like the people on TV.
Yeah, but she admits she's still nervous. It's real.
Then the night itself. Lights, international audience, music, backstage, nerves are peaking, pounding heart, cold hands.
But she grounds herself, whispers, "I'm ready." Takes a deep breath, steps out, smiles.
Start slow, clear. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the audience.
Right.
They respond. Smile, clap.
And as she goes on introducing X, talking to visitors during breaks, the fear just melts away. She feels connected.
This was huge, a real culmination. And during a break, that comment from the Australian tourist.
Ah, yes, the seed planter.
He says, "You have a beautiful way of speaking. Are you a teacher?" Then adds, "You should think bigger. Your voice can reach the world."
Wow, just imagine hearing that after being afraid to say anything.
The feeling after must have been incredible. Council leader proud, family hugs, students applauding.
Her diary entry captures it. "I spoke English on a stage. I didn't freeze. I didn't hide. I did it."
And the realization, fluency isn't just grammar rules. It's bravery. Believing you deserve to be heard.
Finding her courage on that stage, as the source says, changed everything.
The world started listening almost immediately. A week later, that email arrives.
From Lisa, the international education advisor who saw her speak.
Inviting her to apply for the Global Youth English Ambassadors Program for young leaders who use English to connect communities. Lisa thought that was a giant.
Ananya couldn't believe it. Her parents' reaction, "This is your moment." The weight of it.
But with big opportunity comes big fear. Right back again. The application. Daunting. Video, essay, interview with native speakers.
The old doubts resurface. What if I sound silly? What if I fail? She actually avoided it for a couple of days, nearly paralyzed again.
Until Priya stepped in. Her student.
The ripple effect.
Exactly. Priya reminds her, "Didi, remember when you told me to be brave? Maybe now it's your turn."
Wow. Being held accountable to her own wisdom.
That was the push. Diary entry. "I will not let fear decide for me. I will try, because trying means I believe in myself."
So the intense application process begins. Writing her story, recording that video. "My name is Anya, small village with big dreams."
Submitting it with shaking hands. Then the wait. Agonizing.
Yeah.
Followed by the email. Selected for an interview.
Nerves again. 3 professionals, different countries.
But she prepared. Practice questions, online tips, recording herself. Focused on being real, not perfect.
And in the interview, she shared her journey, her struggles, dreams, students, her core belief.
English is not just a language, it's a bridge. And I want to help more people cross that bridge. Powerful stuff.
Then more waiting, uncertainty, until the final email.
"Thrilled to welcome you. Your story, your voice, and your passion touched us deeply."
Tears, sharing the news, village celebration, standing on stage again, a hero now.
Her speech then. "I started this journey afraid to say even one sentence. Today, I'm ready to speak to the world."
And the source adds that lovely line, "and the world was ready to listen."
Which leads us to London, her first flight, first trip abroad. The Global Youth English Ambassadors Program Workshop.
Stepping into this whole new world, fast-paced, like a movie, everything new.
Accents were tough, constantly asking people to repeat themselves. feeling embarrassed sometimes.
Feeling small again, she wrote, like she was back at the beginning.
It's such a good reminder that growth isn't always smooth, is it? New challenges can make you feel like you're starting over.
But she found kindness and support. Her roommate, Naomi from Kenya.
Right. Naomi recognized this shared feeling. We're both far from home, she said. Let's be brave together. That immediate connection.
And the workshops, storytelling, communication, all in English, still a struggle.
Yeah, keeping up felt hard. She wrote in her notebook about feeling behind, discouraged.
Until Naomi offered that crucial perspective.
Seeing Ananya compare herself, Naomi said, but when you speak, everyone listens. Your English is clear, strong, and full of heart. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be you.
That is powerful advice. Be you.
Totally changed her approach. She stopped trying to be fast or perfect, focused on connecting, listening closely, asking questions, speaking meaningfully.
Speaking from the heart.
Exactly. And you see the impact of the cultural exchange evening. She gets up on stage, traditional attire, shows a slide of her village.
And her opening line, I come from a place where English was once only a dream, but today it's my bridge to you. Just
wow. Tells her whole story. Shyness, diaries, struggle, teaching, the village stage, her belief in the bridge.
And the audience, captivated.
Totally.
Yeah.
Silence, then this huge, heartfelt applause, standing ovation. People were crying.
Coming up afterward saying, I cried. You inspired me to teach. You made English feel human.
Her diary entry nails it. Today I saw the power of words. Not perfect words, but true words. English is not about showing off. It's about showing up.
Realizing her authentic voice had this global impact.
Which led to more opportunities. Like co-hosting that university podcast, Voices of Youth.
Nervous about the mic, but she'd face the stage, right? So she could face this.
And her message on the podcast, simple, empowering. If I can do it, anyone can. Fluency is not magic. It's daily courage.
Then, to return home, stepping off the train, village looks the same.
But she is profoundly changed. Inside.
The welcome sounds lovely. Kids running up, Priya students. Dee Dee, you came back.
A village welcome event. She speaks again. First in English. English is not about being perfect. It's about being understood. It's about opening doors.
Then, importantly, switching to Hindi, addressing her community directly.
And now, I want to open that door for all of you. The crowd erupts, parents glowing with pride.
This wasn't an ending, was it? It was the start of bringing it all back home, scaling the impact there.
Precisely. She starts the Global English Circle, a learning group for everyone. Farmers, tailors, shopkeepers, homemakers.
With all different motivations. Selling crops, talking to tourists, helping grandkids.
And her teaching style. Simple, fun, local, using village stories, daily life, always sharing her own journey.
I was just like you. It starts with one step, keeping it real.
When a teenager asks if they could go to London too, Anya's reply.
Why not? Planting that seed of possibility.
Then taking it wider, the YouTube channel. English from Our Village.
Teaching authentically, using her story, her place, her people.
First video with Kriya under the banyan tree. Smiling, stumbling, laughing, learning. Not polished, but real.
And that authenticity connected. Comments pour in. Bangladesh, other places. Your lessons help me. Your accent is clear.
And Lisa, the advisor, sees it, emails again, recognizing Anya had turned your learning into leadership.
Offering a grant to expand the circle, create free resources for rural communities.
Ananya frames it as a collective win. This is for all of us. We're building something bigger now.
The grant allows for library upgrades. The channel grows 50,000 subs mentioned. Other villages ask for help. She starts writing her book.
Speak from the Heart, My Journey to Fluency.
Her final diary entry from that phase sums it up. Fluency is not a place. It's a path. I walk it every day with courage, with community, with love.
Her voice, once that whisper, now reaching far and wide, teaching, inspiring, building those bridges.
But the journey wasn't over. Her story goes viral, her channel, her students' progress.
Which leads to the UN invitation, the Global Language and Literacy Conference in New York City.
Talk about a stage. But she still felt like a Nanya from the village. New York itself must have felt overwhelming.
Totally. Fast-paced, complex. Not in the village anymore, as the source puts it.
Backstage at the UN, surrounded by experts, nerves kick in again.
But she holds on to her mantra. English is not about showing off. It's about showing up.
Steps out calmly. Starts authentically. Namaste. I come from a small village. Today I speak to you not just in English, but through it.
And she tells her story. Her student stories. Her heart-centered method. No dry academic talk.
Her core message hitting home. I am here because I believed imperfect English could still carry powerful stories.
How change begins small. With one word, one voice, one village. The audience reaction.
Intense focus. Leaning in. Then non-stop applause. Standing ovation. Reaching hearts on the world stage.
Afterwards, connections with professors, translators, impressed by the brilliant simplicity of her method.
It wasn't about accents, they said. It was about access.
On a panel, she shares practical tips, using everyday things, YouTube success, and then the question about her biggest dream.
To build an online platform for learners in every small village and town where English is taught not with fear, but with joy.
And by the end, she had partners, NGOs, tech companies, universities, ready to help build it.
Flying home, reflecting. Her diary. Today I spoke to the world, not because I was the loudest, but because I didn't stop speaking.
Realizing this was just the start of a bigger story for every learner out there.
Which leads directly to building that platform, Voices United.
She gets a global team together. Video calls with experts from Brazil, Vietnam, Nigeria, understanding the challenges everywhere.
Lack of teachers, spotty internet, that deep-seated fear.
So they designed something accessible, simple, friendly, works on phones, low internet, videos, practice, games, community forum, tutors.
And Anya insists the content stays warm, personal, teaching through stories. Make learning alive.
For videos, simple introductions, like her own first steps under the banyan tree.
The launch is quiet, but word spreads. Social media, village meetings, radio.
And the impact stories start flooding in. Raju the farmer, learning English, selling crops, sending texts, gaining confidence.
Leela the grandmother, learning to help her grandkids, reading aloud with pride.
Mira the young girl, still dreaming of teaching, sharing friend. Practice makes perfect.
Messages from Nigeria, Nepal, Mexico, People finding voice connection.
That live event moment with Carlos from Peru nervously introducing himself.
Want to learn English to help my family, and the chat just lighting up with encouragement.
It really shows the power of that community, students sharing their own videos, inspiring others.
The realization that fluency is shared. Every voice matters. Every story counts.
It's not just about being heard, but about hearing and uplifting others.
But of course, this massive growth brings challenges. Overwhelm.
Chapter 9 tackles this, balancing the global mission and personal life. It got tough.
Constant messages, calls, her home as the hub, missing family time. Priya's message hitting home, she was stretched too thin.
She realized scaling required, well, building a sustainable structure, slowing down, organizing.
Meeting with volunteers. Building a team that shared the work, cared for each other. Setting up local leaders.
And crucially, carving out personal time for family, for herself, learning to delegate, to trust.
There's that lovely bit about wisdom on balance. Her father asks about the hardest part.
And she doesn't say grammar or fear. She says learning when to speak and when to listen, act and when to rest, lead and when to follow. So insightful.
And her mother's wisdom. Balance is the secret to everything.
It's like another kind of fluency, isn't it? Listening to others, listening to yourself.
She even made a video about it for Voices United. Speaking well includes knowing when to pause and breathe, and it resonated.
While the online platform grew, she also fulfilled that local dream, the physical learning center in her village.
The Voices United Learning Center, described as colorful, welcoming, books, tablets, a cozy corner, a home for voices.
First class there, Mira stands up. My name's Mira. I want to be a teacher one day. The cycle continuing.
Connecting the local and the global. Integrating culture, parents involved, folktales, songs.
That gift of storybooks from Canada. Anya reading aloud, reflecting on her own start. Full circle.
Her diary. A dream born in a village, returned home to bloom. This center is more than a building. It is a home for voices.
Fluency is community. Listening, talking, opening doors, laughter filling the space.
Then come the reflections, the lessons learned looking back.
Yeah, thinking about that shy girl, her diary captures it. Learning English is not just about speaking words. It is about finding your voice, sharing your story, and believing in yourself.
And she boils down the core lessons. Mistakes are steps. Patience is key. Practice daily. Community is vital.
She shares this in a video. Your journey matters. Your voice is powerful. Your story is important. Together we grow fluent, not just in English, but in courage and connection.
Learner messages confirm the impact, a sense of peace for her.
Final diary thought from that time. Fluency is a journey of the heart as much as the mind. Keep speaking, keep dreaming, and never give up.
Looking ahead from the center window, she dreams bigger still. New centers reaching remote areas.
A message from Africa confirms the dream is spreading.
Her definition of fluency evolves too. Not just grammar, but connecting hearts across cultures, building bridges.
Planning international events. Sharing her vision with her parents. Make a world where no voice is too small, no story unheard.
Her father's quiet pride. Final diary entry looking forward. The future is a story still waiting to be told. Together we build a world where learning is a gift for everyone.
Her message to Voices United mirrors this. Journey continues. Keep dreaming, speaking, believing. Change the world one word at a time.
What an incredible arc. It shows fluency is about hope, connection, courage, believing in yourself, daily practice, accepting mistakes.
Patience, community connection, opening doors, building bridges. It's all part of it. A lifelong journey.
Keep speaking, keep dreaming, never give up. The adventure continues.
It's just an extraordinary journey we've walked through.
Mm.
From that girl frozen in the library.
Right, to this global leader building bridges. It really shows that fluency, or, any big skill.
Yeah.
It's not instant.
No, it's built step by step, courageously, through that consistent, often imperfect practice.
And it really hammers home how vital it is to face your fear, even when it keeps coming back, and
Good.
finding that supportive community.
Absolutely. Confidence over perfection. That's the goal. And learning to listen to others and also to yourself, finding that balance.
And Anya's story feels like such a powerful blueprint, doesn't it? Way beyond just learning English.
Oh, definitely. For any area where fear holds you back,
Yeah.
from connecting, from sharing your voice, the principles are universal.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening, something drawn right from Anya's experience.
Okay.
If fluency in whatever skill you're thinking about is really about building bridges, finding your authentic voice, and empowering others too, how might tackling that skill you're maybe afraid of right now,
Yeah.
how might that transform not just your life, but maybe the lives of everyone you connect with because of it?
That's a great question to ponder. How mastering something you fear could ripple outwards.
Something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive into Anya's truly inspiring journey.